Hi, I'm Jana, and this is a real mom car tour of a brand new car to me and to you. This is the 2025 Genesis Gv80 Coupe. And I know it took me a hot second to get the concept of SUV and coupe together. But there's other automakers like the Germans, Porsche Cayenne has a coupe, and it's really popular for people who want the utility of an SUV with the sportiness and performance of a sedan or a coupe. And here you have the Genesis version, which is the pinnacle of luxury and performance. And I cannot wait to show you more. So let's go check it out.
If you're new here, I'm glad you found me. Hi, I'm Jana, and I give real mom car tours. I am a boy mom, auto enthusiast, and I'm an Aquarius, which means my life and sometimes these tours are a little bit chaotic, but they are fun. So buckle up and let's get back to it.
So the Gv80 SUV is a vehicle I am very familiar with, and if you've been with me long enough and watched my channel, you'll know it is one of my all-time favorite SUVs. So I'm going to tell you what differentiates the coupe from that car. And the first thing you're going to notice right off the bat is this slanted roofline. This is going to give you your sporty side profile and the athleticism that you're going to have with a coupe. And this all with this more aggressive spoiler is going to demonstrate performance. You're also going to see a coupe exclusive with these 22-inch alloy wheels. But the biggest thing that's different for the coupe are the two powertrains. So let's talk about those. You have two powertrains to choose from. The first is a 3.5-liter twin turbocharged V6 engine that's going to make 375 horsepower and generate 391 pound-feet of torque. But your second, more sporty option that is exclusive to the coupe is a 3.5-liter turbocharged with an e-supercharger, and that is what I have been driving all week. And this baby has a 48-volt e-supercharger that's attached to your V6. It's going to make 409 horsepower and generate 405 pound-feet of torque. One of the things that the Genesis brand is known for is a G-matrix design, and you're going to see that all the way around this car. And nowhere more substantial than right here in this front end. So this is going to be different than the Gv80 SUV front end. And you can see we have some smoked out chrome here, and you have an additional layer underneath that. It's going to maximize your airflow, but it's also going to keep trash and all the things out of the engine. You have more of that design down here with your aerodynamics. And Genesis has started using on these newer vehicles a really beautiful LED headlight that they call MLA, which is a multi-lens array. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't know all that means other than the fact that it's a dynamic light. It's really beautiful, and they set it in this double horizontal that is just so signature Genesis. And let me tell you what else is special about this. Carrying through for that is just the design language that goes over the whole side body of this coupe. If I were to turn on my turn signal, I think I should do that. Let me see if I can do that. So you can see how you have lights. Not only is this beautiful, and it's also functional. So you get your turn signals there, and really just so much athleticism on the side body of this coupe. The smoked out chrome accents down here. And if you notice, even on top of your door handle. And why does that matter? Because it just shows their attention to detail. When you're going to pay this much for a car, you want to know that somebody has thought about every single facet. Like these roof rails. They're kind of hidden and sunken, but they exist. So on the SUV, they're going to be raised higher and more visible for that utility look. It's still operable up top, and you can put crossbars on this should you need it. But if you don't want it, you're going to have your nice, sleek, coupe-like design. So come to the back with me because I want to show you that I still have my turn signal on. We're going to go all the way around the world to the right. But check this out. You have the same design language is carried through. You see this double line on these LEDs here in the back More of this smoked out chrome accent that stretches across the rear end here, and it just feels bigger and bolder the way it's stretched. You have an aggressive spoiler, and the whole design language here is just clean to me. The way that this flows into this here is just really sleek, but it's also functional because it is shaped this way for aerodynamics. And one of the things that you'll notice about the competition is that their coupes are kind of shaped like an egg, and honestly, that's not the vibe I'm going for. I don't really want an egg-shaped vehicle. I really think they did a nice job of making this more sleek, but not like an egg. The other thing, we have 4 really sexy, we have quad exhaust tips here and here. And the Genesis designers actually placed these exhaust tips before they drew and made the rest of the back of this coupe. So you can see they have a really bold placement, and they're very different than the exhaust you're going to find on the SUV. And if you want max performance out of your Gv80 Coupe, you need to run premium fuel, and that is at least 91 octane, which I know not everybody loves. But if you're driving a beautiful creation like this, you want to have peak performance, and the only way you can do that is by using the cleanest fuel. So in the E-Supercharged version powertrain, you're going to get 18 mpg in the city, 22 on the highway for a combined mpg of 20. But your mpg will also be affected by your drive modes, and we have multiple in there to choose from, and that's honestly where the magic is happening, inside that cabin. So let's go check it out. And we can turn off the turn signal so that we're not going around the world to the right. All the magic is really happening in this driver's seat. That is supple Napa leather. These seats are also heated and ventilated, and my seat has massage. Of course, there's a power adjustment so you can get in the exact right position. And your steering wheel actually has a power adjustment as well. So it telescopes, it goes in and out and up and down. Everything about this experience in the Gv80 Coupe is about being customized to exactly what you like, even drive modes. And you select your drive mode from this dial. You have Eco, which is going to be your drive mode that has the best MPG. And notice when I change drive modes, it changes my display. Comfort, which is going to be your everyday around town balanced drive mode. You have Sport for when you want to kick it up a notch. And when you do, you have paddle shifters, which some people really love to take control and jump right off the line. But I love Sport Plus. Sport Plus is going to turn off your traction control, and look at these graphics. Can you see that? Just looking at how it changed my graphics, you can tell that Sport Plus does not mess around. That is going to activate your E-Supercharger. It's going to give you the best performance. Your suspension and your steering are all going to be tuned to that drive mode. And I checked it out on all these curvy roads going between northern Minnesota to Wisconsin, back roads, side roads, and I was aggressively steering through some really sharp turns at a high speed. Don't tell anybody highway patrol. The handling is superb. I could talk to you about that all day because I love it. But I want to bring you back to something else that's really coupe specific. In addition to that Sport Plus drive mode, we have this D-cut steering wheel. And you're going to notice it's a little bit flattened off at the bottom. And this is just to give you that same feeling. When you're in a sports car, for clearance getting in and out, they usually have a flattened bottom steering wheel, and we have that here. We also have a leather wrapped with perforation on the inside, and this is just to give us a better feel and grip. Because if you want to control this car, it starts here. You also control your adaptive cruise control and your hands-free driving functions from your steering wheel here. You even have buttons where you can customize if you want to have it go directly to the radio or the navigation. But I want you to check out the pinnacle of this dash, and that is a 27-inch OLED display. And it has your gauges and clusters right in front of you. No brake with separate screens, and this has your nav built in. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, which I really appreciate. And it's really intuitive and easy to use. I've never had an issue using the Genesis infotainment. I think it's really easy. You can also control it from this dial. And look how pretty this is. This is just another area of design and somebody putting attention into making this feel luxury, making this feel special, and eye-in details. Just like the G Matrix pattern that you'll see again on the quilting in these seats. Nothing has been left to just be plain. Even your small, your carbon that's trimmed in here, this beautiful orange stitching is new and exclusive to Coupe. And look at this. It matches this seat belt. I love it. While we're on this OLED display, I'm going to show you my absolute favorite thing about this car, and it's called Mood Curator. And this is how you set your vibe. You have 4 different choices of moods: vitality, delight, care, and comfort. And if I were to start vitality, you're going to have music that matches. The ambient lighting is also going to match this more upbeat, energizing atmosphere, and it's going to blow a soft fragrance into the cabin to set the mood. And it works. I love it. And it's soft, it's gentle. You don't really notice it. It's not overbearing, it's lovely. So I'll give you just a little taste of what some of these sound like. Let's just say it's been a long day at the office. The comfort mood gives you a light, calming scent. It turns on the seat massager. You have very calming light and this calming music. And look at these graphics. It's like the Northern Lights, which is so appropriate for us being in northern Minnesota. And see, can you see the blue ambient lighting? The ambient lighting in the Gv80 Coupe is so gorgeous. It's around, you can't, like I said, you can't really see it that well, but it's in your footwells, it's on your doors, it's around your dash, it's trimmed here, in your cup holders. It really just adds something for me. I'm one of those people, I set the music to my mood, so I'm setting the lights there too, baby. I do like the fact that your climate is on a separate screen. You get an audible sound, but this is how you control your front, and you can also control the climate in the rear. And that's very unique for a 5-passenger vehicle. Most of the time the people in the back seat are kind of left with their own devices, but you can control that from up here. You do have a wireless charging pad right here. You can connect with a USB-C. That would be the one that would control what's on your screen, or you can just charge with this USB-C. You also have a 12-volt plug. I already showed you your cup holders because you saw that cool lighting. You also have a ton of cameras that give you a surround view, and you activate those by pushing this button, and then this is what your cameras look like. So you can see what's in front of you, and hi guys, there's some other content creators. This is what you can see behind you, and then you can get a spinning 360 to see what's all the way around your Gv80 Coupe. So I do want to show you, before we end this quick tour, what it's like in the second row, because you would think between the SUV and the Coupe, you're going to have compromised space and less headroom, but I don't think that's true. And you might expect to lose a lot of headroom in your second row because this is a Coupe, but that's not true. I don't think you lose any. I have great headroom. I'm 5'7", and these seats are on a little bit of an incline to both support your legs, but also tip you back into a more comfortable position. This seat is also set for me, and I still have really great leg room. And the best part is this is also a power-adjusted, heated and ventilated seat. And this goes all the way back to 40 degrees. And they are on a 60-40 split. So if your passenger wants to do something different than you want to do over here, so be it. You each have cup holders in the armrest, and another little attention to detail, you have storage back here. So there's no bad seat in the Gv80 Coupe, and it's really comfortable. There is a middle seat because we do have a head restraint here and an additional safety belt. If you had to ride here in between 2 car seats, you could do it. I've got some childbearing hips. I'm fitting here. I think we've all been in the back of like our mother-in-law's RAV4 and had to squeeze between the child seats, and this is no different, except that it's a hell of a lot nicer. So you're going to control your climate on the back with this digital display, and you also control your heated and ventilated seats. So like I said, there's no luxury that's gone unnoticed. You also have a place to charge 2 USB-Cs here in the back, and a traditional household plug should you need that. And one of the things that is so Genesis, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to come around, but I'll show you that you can move this seat up and back with these buttons that are right here on the side. And let me tell you how I would use this. If I'm driving and I have a tall passenger or a kid getting into a forward-facing car seat, I could touch this button and move this seat forwards or backwards. And it just is an added convenience that I never knew I needed in my life until I found it. The other thing I never knew I needed was a customized Bang & Olufsen sound system, and that is what this car has. Bang & Olufsen designed this sound system for this vehicle. Their tone meisters got together and figured out how the surround sound would actually be perceived from every seat. So you can customize your sound based on what type of music you're listening to. It's called Baosonic, and you get to all those things on the screen. You control your Baosonic from this screen. Under Setup, you go to Sound, and this is where you can customize your sound. Depending on what you're listening to, you can make it energetic. What kind of song we got going here? You can make it warm or relaxed, and all of this is going to customize your listening experience. So before we wrap up this tour, I'm going to show you a couple things that I probably have missed. One is this beautiful panoramic sunroof, which I love it because it lets in so much natural light. We still have a sunglass holder, which is a classic, and you have a camera in your rear view mirror. And a lot of people rely on this now, and they drive with it like that all the time. But I want to show you the cargo space, because if you're looking at a coupe versus an SUV, you're going to want to know how much cargo you have, and I'll show you. So let's go check it out. There's still plenty of room in the back of the coupe. As you can see, you can fit a lot of things in this cargo area. You can see your 60-40 split with your 3 top tethers for your car seat install. You have a cargo privacy cover up top that folds out and looks really slick, and it pops right away if you don't need it. You do have a button on this side that I will show you that you can use to lift and lower your second row. And I really don't think you've compromised that much space by going coupe over SUV. So let me know what you think of the 2025 Gv80 Coupe. Would you buy this over the SUV? You should know before you make your decision, this can tow up to 6,000 pounds, which is wild. And I don't know if I mentioned it, so I am circling back to tell you that this is a new color, and it just is only available with the coupe. It's called Bearing Blue, and Genesis derives its paint colors and interior colors. It's inspired by nature, and so this is inspired by the Bering Strait, like the frozen iciness of the Bering Strait. And to you it may look gray. It has a blue, gray, just depending on what light it's in. So I hope you enjoyed this tour of the all-new 2025 Genesis Gv80 Coupe. I know I really loved driving it. Full disclosure, I don't get everything right, and I have very little time to actually give you all this information, and sometimes I get it wrong. So if I do catch things in editing, I'll put it up in a box in the comments as a disclaimer. But if you have any questions about this car, please let me know, and I will reach out to the folks at Genesis and try to get you an answer. If I'm your vibe, hit like, subscribe, follow, whatever we're doing on YouTube. And you can also find me all over social media. I'm on TikTok and Instagram and at realmomcartours.com. So from the middle of Minnesota, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. This cannot be our road, is it?
Yep.
What?
Twisties. We
Oh
got
my
some
gosh.
twisties.
Okay, so that's a great segue. I've thrown my poor drive partner all the way around because I wanted to see what this twin turbo was capable of, because I like to drive a car how I drive it at home, and most of the time a car like this, I'm gonna drive it like I stole it. I love to hug the curves. I love to just hang in there, use the paddle shifters when I need to or want to, and I love to use the Sport and Sport Plus mode.
But for around town driving, I definitely would go Comfort or Eco because obviously MPG is important. But this is a smooth ride. The suspension has been specially tuned for these 22-inch wheels that they put that are exclusive to the coupe, and you can feel it. I mean, it's comfortable to drive, but it's comfortable to ride. On these drives, you have a partner, and they break it up into legs. So the first person will drive an hour, and then there'll be a coffee stop, and then you swap seats. So you get to experience both. Girl, we've already been here. I have passed this before. We're going in a